and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street. Well, about a 45-point uptick on the Nifty right now. 24,745 is where right now the Nifty is really trading at. The key sectors that are driving the show in the last hour of the trade is the FMCG stocks that are driving all the attention. The index is up by 1.5% almost. Then you also have consumer durable space that's also buzzing in trade. Broader markets are doing well with the small caps especially. That's over 1% gains that can be seen on this one. Apart from this, pharma, metals and infra, oil and gas and the auto spaces are also looking up. What's not participating in the markets today are clearly the banking space. The Nifty Bank is lower in trade by about 0.5%, dragged by the PSU banking index that's down by 0.8%. The private banks that are down 0.25% and the financial services that are also down in trade. However, they've pulled up from the low point of the day and that's a bit of the positive. Despite the India VIX still down by about 2.5% in trade at about 13.4 odd levels. Let's look at the key stocks that are driving the show today. Divis Laboratories maintains its top position on the Nifty in terms of the top movers, 3.7% higher in trade. You have Titan, SBI Life, Cipla, ITC, Hindalco as some of the stocks that are buzzing in trade within the Nifty. What's not doing well on the Nifty? As the top losers right now, well, you do have about 10 odd stocks that are down in trade, led by Ultratech Cement that's down 1.4%, Tata Steel, Tech Mahindra, SBI, HDFC Life and HDFC Bank and SBI. These are the stocks that are actually dragging in trade right now. Let's actually welcome our top guest on the show to understand more about the tenor and the texture of the market. Kush Godasara is now with us. He's a market expert. Warm welcome, Kush, and thank you so much for taking the time out. Do tell us, how are you assessing the current move in the markets? We've actually seen that we've come out of a long-term broad range in that we were, probably trading in from about 24,100 to all the way up to 24,500. We've broken that in the last few days and are holding up. What's the sense that you get?
Good afternoon and thank you for having me. Definitely, I think we have seen some breakout on small cap and mid cap stocks, and even if you look at Nifty, we have been out of that range. But looking at Bank Nifty and specific banking stocks, still I'm not being happy to carry some long trades overnight, because if you look at stocks like SBI, ICICI Bank have breached last 3 days lows today. So last 45 minutes are crucial now. So definitely we have some support from FMCG IT stocks, but high beta stocks like banking and financials are not supporting the market. So I believe we need some support from these stocks if at all we want to move towards 25,000. So definitely still the momentum is lacking in the market. I mean, the base is not strong.
Okay, got it. Let me discuss about the one space that everyone is talking about, and that is the defense space, Kush. I wanted to understand, even if we look at the passive funds, the domestic mutual funds, they've lost sheen. When we talk about the defense-focused mutual funds, they've lost about 5% odd in a month. And even when we talk about some of the stocks, they have been lying low. Mazacon Dock, however, has been holding up today at 6.5%. Cochin Shipyard is back at 2.3%. There's a lot of, dichotomy in the way investors and analysts are now viewing the defense space. Of course, we've seen a huge run up in these kind of stocks in the recent past, and now the confusion begins that is the time, has the time passed when you had to really take bets on the defense space, or is there still a lot of opportunity right there? Looking at the valuations, looking at the past run up, and of course the opportunities and the fundamentals right there. What would you suggest?
Definitely, if you look at fundamentals, I think still they are overvalued, because we were betting on the order books. But I think when the order books are realized in terms of money on the balance sheet, that's when stocks will start performing. So I think fundamentally they still have a higher PE ratio compared to other stocks. So maybe yes, fundamentally still they are not looking good. So maybe as an investor, maybe I will wait and watch. But as a trader, if you look at stocks like Mazagon Dock and Cochin Shipyard, today they look very much attractive, because we have seen some move with heavy volume after opening gap down. So definitely, Mazagon Dock is on my radar for short-term trading. I will buy the stock about 4,800. Until then, of course, it's still not a good buy. This could be a trap. So defense stocks are not looking good as of now. Still, we need to wait for some more upside move for a confirmation.
Okay, got it. So, are there any key stocks that you would still find attractive at the current levels within the entire space? Where would you still find that comfort?
No, no. As of I am not feeling comfort at any stocks because Cochin shipyard. If you look at the price movement today, we made a good high above yesterday's high, but we are not able to sustain that. So today's closing is more crucial. I mean, are we able to take the game to the last ball? Unless
Yeah.
then it's not your game. So definitely don't be in a hurry to pitch in. Just wait for one more day.
Wait for some more time. Okay, got it. Let's now talk about the performers today. And there is this life insurance space that's in the thickest of action. HDFC Life, SBI Life, LIC, all of these stocks have been hovering higher in trade. What's the sense that you get here? Anything that looks promising technically?
Definitely, I love this space for long-term investment, and HDFC Life is a stock which I believe yet has not, performed as per the industry momentum. Because if you look at HDFC weekly chart, HDFC Life, we have not able to reach a new high yet, life high. Because in 2021 we got 760 as a new high. So I
Yeah.
believe HDFC Life has still underperformed. So if you're a long-term investor, you can still buy the stock. I believe this industry is going to grow many folds because after COVID, tier one, tier two cities and rural area has got awareness of insurance, and now they are have understood the importance of the insurance. I think this industry has a long way to go. So definitely buy HDFC Life stop loss of 675 for the long term. I believe first target by next year would be 840.
Got it. Okay. Let's also get you to talk about the entire fertilizer space. There are several stocks that are buzzing in trade today, especially stocks like Deepak Fertilizers. Let's pull up the charts right there. A double digit return in today's trading session is what we saw. Even Chambal Fertilizers, cash market, it's up by 3.5%. FNO, it's even sharply higher by about 6 percent. Deepak Fertilizers is up by about 9.8% right there. Is the buzz coming back and is this momentum to be chased right now, Kush?
Definitely, Deepak Fertilizer looks attractive this week. We have seen a new life high also. But yes, looking at the volume, last six trading sessions were pretty much low on the volumes. But today we have got good volume, so definitely looks good. But buy on some dip. I mean, for 8 to 10 rupees dip, I mean around 1045 would be a good entry point. So if you are already holding the stock, keep stop loss at 990, which is a 5-day average. But if you want to buy fresh, just wait for a small intraday dip to get in. Targets on the upside are at 1200.
Okay, got that. So that's as far as the fertilizer space is concerned. One more pocket that's of course that I mentioned also that the space is gaining all the traction, and that's the FMCG space today. Now be it stocks like Dabur or Marico, these are the stocks that are buzzing. Colgate is also buzzing in trade as well. And the second rung names like Varun Beverages, they are also sharply higher by about 3.5% odd in trade. When we look at even the the index level as well, you will find a whole host of names. Even in the liquor space, stocks like United Breweries are coming back. ITC is up at 507 odd levels as well. Britannia is up and about. Tata Consumer Products is buzzing. The entire space seems to be in the thick action right now. How are you assessing the entire FMCG basket in terms of staples and even the liquor space? Where do you think attractive opportunities lie here?
So definitely, if you start with liquor space, I think United Spirit looks good at current levels. We have seen some consolidation for last 4 days. Now at this current levels, we may buy for stop loss of 1400. On the upside, I believe it's a low beta stock, but we may achieve 1550 by Diwali. So because I think festive season is on, and
Yeah.
by December, I think sales would be good. So United Spirit is a stock, and second, I think Tata Consumer.
Okay.
I think that stock has not performed well yet. And look at Starbucks taking over CCD spots in tier two cities as well. I was traveling to a tier two city in Gujarat, and I saw Starbucks. So I think now they are penetrating deeply in India. So Tata Consumer is a stock where I even prefer to buy at current levels for long term. 1100 is my stop loss. Short term target 1250. long term we may see 1600 in a year's time.
Okay, got it. So Tata Consumer on the back of the way expansion for Starbucks is being seen is one stock that you could be probably looking at this point in time right here. Okay, we'll also get you to talk about Titan. 2.2% of a kind of move is what we see at 35.54. How are you looking at Titan currently?
Definitely, finally, Titan has moved about 200 average.
Yeah.
Since May 24, I mean, on the 6th May when we got the earnings, we had, broken below 200 average. Since then, we tried to, come above 200 average. We were not able to close successfully for 2 days. So today is the first day. 35.50 is a good level. So if we close about 35.50 for tomorrow also, then only I will buy on Friday. Otherwise, I believe this stock is still on a sideways momentum. So if you are a short-term trader, avoid the stock. You may not get so much high beta momentum, but definitely for long-term investors, can hold this stock.
Long term investors can definitely hold on to this stock as well. Let's also discuss these laboratory names. They're also making a comeback. DIVISLAB is the top mover on the Nifty, and even within the broader market, stocks like Leica Labs is also moving up in trade. Anything that looks promising to you within the lab stocks, diagnostic chain makers, healthcare stocks as well?
Uh, Definitely, pharma stocks are looking good, healthcare stocks, and that is the major concern for me. Whenever we look at pharma stocks rising, the market doesn't give so much momentum in high beta stock. Definitely, still the pharma index could go towards 23,000, but I believe at current levels I won't enter fresh in any pharma stock. Rather, I will hold on my existing position. DIVISLAB is a stock where 5100 is the potential target. So one can hold on pharma stocks, but don't enter for a fresh move.
Okay, got it. I think there is some recovery from the day's low for sure for the markets as well, and this is also on the back of Nifty Bank also recovering from the lows as well. Right now, the Nifty Bank is about 0.3% lower in trade, but we pulled up, and even for the Nifty, despite it being a choppy session, we've seen a good spike come back as well in the market. So let's look at the markets for about 10 minutes more to see how the trend really shapes up. If you look at the Nifty Bank, it's at 50,662, and the Nifty is also above 24,750 odd mark as well. So recovery definitely taking place within the markets. Which are the top stocks that are also making a sharp move in trade today? Within the IT pack, it's Scient that's moving up about 3.5%. Just Dial is up by about 5.7% in trade. Then you also have stocks like PNB Housing Finance that's up by almost 9.5% in trade. These are the kind of stocks that are actually doing well. Swan Energy is 3% higher. Adani Wilmar is also up by about 10%. Let's actually pull up all the Adani Group stocks to see how those are performing. So Wilmar is the one that's at 9.9% uptick that we've seen. It's a circuit for the company for the day, 393. Let's pull up the other stocks like Adani Green, Adani Power, Adani Total Gas, also Adani Enterprises, Adani Ports, maybe even ACC Ambuja if we can pull up. Nothing exciting on Adani Power for now, but Adani Green just about 0.25% higher in trade. Let's also pull up Energy Solutions, Adani Enterprises, 1.5% move for the flagship company. Power, let's look at as well to see Adani Energy Solutions is 1.5% down. Adani Ports is about 0.7%. So I think large move is with respect to Adani Wilmar itself. How are you looking at Adani Wilmar currently, Kush, and any other stocks within the Adani basket that you are positive on?
No, Adani's basket looks a little riskier to be right now because we talk about Edinburgh report and we say nothing has been
Yeah.
affected Adani Group. But since first report was published on 24th January last year, 27 if I'm not wrong, still 6 out of 8 stocks of Adani have not been able to breach that highs. So I think for a long term, I'm a pro Adani, but at current levels I won't buy. Maybe Adani Port and Ambuja Cement. Those are the two stocks fundamentally which looks attractive to me. Ambuja Cement is a buy on every dip with a stop loss of 580 as an investment. I believe the stock could achieve 800 levels in the next 6 months. So Ambuja and other reports are two stocks which I may buy on every dip.
Okay, got it. So that's the view that's coming in as far as the Adani group of stocks are also concerned. Let's pull up some of the other spaces. Let's pull up the small cap space where we haven't touched upon base with push yet to see what's the move. Of course, we did talk about PNB housing finance within the space that made that sharp 10%, 10.5% surge today. Alok Industries is also up by 10% at about 28 rupees. You have Century Textiles that's up by 7.7%. Then you have Castrol that's up 7%, CESE that's made a strong surge, about 6.5% higher in trade, HFCL, Narayana Hrudalaya again from the Pharma pack, healthcare pack, that's moving up. You also have stocks like Nippon Life, India Asset Management that's buzzing in trade, Wellspun Living. Remember, this is one stock that was highlighted also by Mayuresh last week as well. So that's one space that's been buzzing. Several of the stocks right here within the small caps. What looks good to you within the small cap basket, Kush, today?
Maybe, I believe Astral Limited is a stock. We can't say it's a small cap, but it's now turning to a mid cap stock. But I think still, I believe that stock has the potential to move on the upside. Fundamentally, we have seen some crackdown, and even technically, we have seen 30% correction from the live high. So definitely, Astral Limited is on my radar for long-term investment. I believe even Welspun is coming into construction pipe, PVC pipe business. So both are looking good, but not for the short term. Maybe I would wait for some more correction, but you should keep Welspun and Astral on your watch list. 5% correction from the year is a good entry point for both the stocks.
Okay, and how about these mid-cap IT names like Cyient or a Mastech that's been making a strong move today? What appeals to you here?
As a disclosure, we have recommended Info Edge, Naukri, and Zomato. I believe
Okay.
you are, Zomato is also like a mid-cap IT stock, can also be termed as a FMCG ancillary. So I think Zomato and Naukri both are looking good. Even Policy Bazaar is looking good to me. So new age IT stocks, I can say, a mid-cap new age IT stocks. So I am bullish on in Naukri with the stop loss of 7,000. I believe even in short term we may see 7,700. And Policy Bazaar, of course, as we discussed, insurance space is looking good. So first name which comes on everyone's mind while buying a policy is Policy Bazaar. So they
Yeah.
will have that advantage. So 1,500 can be a stop loss technically. Target on the upside at 1,800.
Okay, got it. So that's the kind of view that you have on the new age internet space. Zomato and Policy Bazaar or PB FinTech as some of the preferred names right there. Let's also look at the banks now where the recovery is actually coming in. Let's see if there is any recovery that's getting in into the Nifty bank and what's supporting the move here to I think it's RBL Bank that's moving up today in the FNO space. That's up by about 6.5%. Bandhan Bank is up by about 3 odd percent today. These are some of the stocks that are actually buzzing in trade. Within the banking space, how are you positioned right now, Kush? Maybe both large cap private banks, mid cap private banks, and even the PSU banks, if you have to talk about. How are you looking at the current juncture and which are the stocks appealing to you within this basket?
Definitely, SBI and ICICI are the two stocks, where I have recommended a short call today. I believe, they are not able to, cross over the short-term moving averages, and today they made a new low for this week. So I think still there is a bit of resistance on banking stocks. So names like ICICI and SBI are on my radar. One can short SBI at current levels, a risky short STBT. Stop loss would be 822 on the future. Target for tomorrow on SBI could be 808.
Okay, got it. So that's the view that's coming in on the banking space as well. Let's also get you to talk about one more space, the consumer durable space as well. Kush, for you today, a whole host of stocks like Crompton Greaves Consumer, Havells, Serra Sanitary Ware, Voltas, Dixon Technologies, V-Guard, these are the ones that are buzzing in trade. How are you looking at these space stocks now? Of course, the sales season is over. They are now trying to log in all of those sales figures into the next quarterly earnings as well, processing that too. What looks good to you now?
Maybe still, if you look at the stock like V-Guard, we have seen a good sell-off. Even Bata India, if you look, I think, festive season is coming up. but I think still not a right time to enter these stocks. I believe there are still 5% more downside on the stock. So avoid this stock for next 2 weeks. Maybe post September expiry, we may enter the stock. But as of now, they are not looking good because most of the stock have corrected quite a bit in last three sessions with heavy volumes. So we may have witnessed some distribution of stocks on the upper levels. So I would avoid
Okay.
at current levels.
Avoid at the current levels. Okay, Kush, you were taking the name of Zomato. There's another stock which is belongs to the QSR category, and that is Jubilant Food Works, that operates Domino's pizza chains as well. I want to know about this stock. The stock is hovering higher in the F&O space today. It's about 4% higher in trade. Even in the cash markets, is up by about 3.4%, 646. It's lied low in a consolidative for a long term time consolidation that has actually taken place onto this stock. Anything that looks positive?
Definitely, I think Jubilant Foodworks is a good buy for a long-term investment. As you rightly said, we are coming out of a long-term congestion on weekly charts. So with the stop loss of 580, I believe we may see 740 on Jubilant Foodworks because it's the only pizza chain. I believe it's becoming a new KFC or a McD. So they are opening stores in each and every uh, tier one cities also. I mean, Pizza Hut is not able to compete with them. So I think Domino's will be the new pizza, brand that would be pan India. So I believe long-term investment is good on the stock, not for the short term, because we this could be just a short covering on futures. So avoid a future position, but the delivery people can definitely pitch in some cash. 620 can be a near-term stop loss. First target 675, above which 740.
Got it. So that's the kind of move that we are expecting within Jubilant Foodworks as well. Let's look at the Nifty again. It's about 310 now. 24,770. We've inched higher in trade. That's about a 72 point of an uptick. So we are at the high point on the Nifty right now, viewers. And this contribution, where is it coming from? It's coming from ITC. That's contributing about 16 points to the gains on the Nifty. Titan is contributing about 10 points. HUL is contributing about 9 points. You have L&T, TCS, Asian Paints, and Bharti Airtel as some of the other key contributors as well. Now, if you look at the IT index as well, that's also contributing. If you look at the IT index, it's actually turned absolutely flat and it's come off the day's low point too. Let's look at the IT names that are now turning winners at the point. So you can actually see for the IT space, we are at the high point. It's now turned green. The Nifty IT index right now is at the high point. Emphasis, L&T Technology Services, TCS, LTI Mindtree, Wipro, Infosys, they're all up into the green as well. So the IT momentum is coming back. Within the entire IT, where are you keeping your focus, Kush?
On IT space, definitely TCS is on my radar, but I was just looking at the US futures and they have turned a bit negative from the morning high. So carrying forward a IT position looks difficult because the Nasdaq charts are not looking that strong because we have rallied almost for nine straight sessions.
Yeah.
So I believe on IT stocks, if you are a short-term investor or trader, just book some profits to at least 50% of your position. I would
Okay.
rather buy on Sunday.
Okay, book your profits, and it's a sell on rise kind of an IT signal that we get, is what Kush is indicating right now. Kush, the other space that I wanted you to address for us is one space that's been consistently buzzing for the last 10-15 days out, and that's the oil and gas space. Within that, the OMC, especially HPCL, BPCL, IOC, they're all buzzing slowly and gradually back up again. There was a period when every day these stocks were high at hitting newer highs as well. How would you really look at the OMCs now?
So OMCs, are my favorite stock. I prefer OMCs over doing a fixed deposit in my bank. So if you look at IOC, in last 3 years, if you have invested 100 rupees, you are almost getting back 80 rupees in form of bonus and dividend, and with capital appreciation. So I believe your long-term investors should bet on OMCs at current level. One of the favorite pick out of three at current level would be BTC. It has just breached a new high. So with the stop loss of 330, BPCL can be bought for a 3 months period. I believe by December we may see 400. And I believe even crude prices are going down. So this would be an added edge to the stock. So if you are having a short position anywhere in banking, for example, on SBI, as I recommended, you can hedge your positions by going long on PVC.
Okay, got it. Kush, you were also talking about the new age internet space. You highlighted stocks like Info Edge and Zomato and PB FinTech there. I'll also bring up one more name, and that is Nika for you. FSN e-commerce, that's the stock that I wanted to discuss with you, because the stock has hit a fresh 52-week high in today's trade. Look at how the stock moved up today. It went up higher, currently holding up at about 9.15% at 210. This was after large trades of 0.1%, equity worth 62 odd crore rupees also exchanged hands on Nika in trade today. 210. Is the mojo coming back for FSN e-commerce or Nika?
Definitely, we can take some risk of investing at current levels for Nike. There are two reasons. Technically, 200 average was at around 1869, and since the last September, we have not even bridged a single day below this stock, and we have consolidated almost for, we can say, 1 year at this level. So today, with heavy volumes, I believe there is some action coming up. So Nika is a good buy, and of course it was a Raksha Bandhan. I'm sure all brothers have gifted their sisters at least a Nika coupon. So 169 can be your stop loss, and for investment you can invest at current levels. 360 is my target for next year, but strictly for investment.
Okay, got it. So that's the view coming in on Nika right now, viewers. Let's pull up anything else that we can discuss with Kush right now. Kush, how are you looking at the stock of Z? That also made a comeback today. Z Entertainment is up by 3% in trade today. How are you assessing it?
Definitely, Z Entertainment was one of my favorite stock for trading on futures before 2 years. But since the worrying about the stakes, the stock has never given a good one-way trend for even a shorter term period. It's quite a volatile. So I think you should avoid the stock. Definitely today we have seen some momentum, but still it is trading 30% discount at 200 average. So stock is not looking good. Any rally on this stock is an exit for a trap.
Okay, got it. So that's the view on the media stock. But there's also some gaming related stocks also in the buzz today. Nazara Technologies is up by 3.4%. Even Delta Corp did show us some move right here. They're coming back after a long haul too. There has been a lot of tax related issues, regulatory related issues that these companies have had to face in the recent past. But for those who are still holding on from the lower levels onto these stocks, what would you say?
As an investment, I would avoid Nazara Technology or any gaming stocks because I believe that buzz was during COVID when they had a good TRP on the mobile app. Kids were playing on games. Even we used to have some fun on the games during COVID. But I think long-term perspective, this is not a good stock to invest. Rather, the stocks which we discussed like Policy Bazaar, where there is some life saving event connected. I think that will do good. Nazara, I think 1,000 years strong resistance. So I would completely avoid this space.
Okay, completely avoid this space at this point in time. Okay, let me get you to talk about one more food related stock. Patanjali Foods, 4.2% high in trade at 1898. The stock hit a fresh record high in trade today. How are you assessing the move here?
Yes, definitely with heavy volumes, we have breached the high. So one can hold the existing position with the stop loss of 1850, which was the previous high. And the trend line as of now, which is spotted at around 1980, could be your target. But fresh position risk reward is not favorable. But existing position, can take forward to 1980.
Okay, got it. So that's the view coming in on Patanjali Foods right now. One more stock that's actually waking up from its slumber is Tata Technologies, 2% higher in trade at about 1024 odd levels. This stock has really tested the patience of all the investors. It did move up about after listing, but then after that there has been an absolute lack of momentum from that time till now. Anything that looks positive within the charts of Tata Tech?
But definitely, Tata Tech is in a zone of accumulation for long-term investment. I believe, if I'm not wrong, their business comes from majorly five clients. So I think that is a bit of concern, and we may not see large movement in short term. But if you're a long-term investor and you missed out during IPO allotment, definitely currently is the time to accumulate. I believe 960 can be a stop loss on the downside, but accumulate the stock for next 3 months like a SIP, and within a year or two, we may again see 1400 levels. So this is a stock where you should accumulate in form of SIP every month for next 3 months.
SIP every month for next 6 months, 3 to 6 months is what Kush is really saying at this point in time on Tata Technologies. Let's get you to also talk about the auto space that we haven't touched at all in trade today. Within the auto space, the index is up by about 0.3% odd. Let's see if there is any move across the board within. So it's mostly the auto ancillary stocks that are driving the show today. Battery stocks, both Exide and Amara Raja, they are in the thick of action. Samvardhan Motherson is in action. Tire makers Apollo, MRF, Balkrishna, they're all up and about in trade. So these are the stocks that are actually buzzing within the auto ancillary pack. What would you say?
Definitely, I think auto ancillary stocks are looking good at current levels for long-term investment. And one of the stock, which is best talked about is DNA XL. And as a disclosure, yesterday I have posted on my social media to go long on this stock for side of 20 to 25% within next 1 year. So, other stocks have uh, given a good return. So maybe I won't buy them at current levels, but GNA XL is a stock where I will go long at current levels for the stop loss of 390. And I believe this has a potential to touch 520 within next 6 to 8 months. So don't buy for a short term because M&M, Tata Motors, TVS Motors, they are all high beta stocks and they are at a resistance level. If you look at Tata Motors, M&M, M&M had given a good move after Thar launch, but again it's currently back at that level. So there is some supply on frontline auto stocks, so avoid them. But as an investor, definitely look at some ancillary stocks like G and Axel.
Okay, got it. So that's the auto ancillary space that is passing. You know what's really leading the recovery in the market, 75 points higher on the Nifty, is the banking space. Private banks are now into the green. They've come off the low point for sure. Of course, some names that I already mentioned, stocks like RBL Bank, they are driving the show 4.5% higher. Bandhan Bank, like I mentioned, 3.6% up. Now even Axis, IDFC First, Kotak, IndusInd Bank are also back into the green as well. Another comment from you within the banking space and private banks particularly, Kush. How are you keeping your focus there?
Still, I'm not convinced with the long trade. Definitely, Bank Nifty is looking good, but high beta stock like SBI and ICICI are still not looking good on closing. Still, they are a bit negative. So tomorrow would be a confirmation whether we should go long or not. So
Sure.
still be avoiding private sector and large banks for BTST.
Okay, got it. So any trades for BTST that you'd like to highlight for our viewers? Now it's 320.
Definitely, some mid-cap stocks are still looking good. Small cap stocks are also, at a good momentum. You can look at stocks like Geo Financials and BPC. We already we discussed. So Geo Finance is a stock where I would recommend to go BTST. I believe 326 is a good stop loss. On the upside, we may test 335 and 340.
Okay, got it. So that's the BTST trade for you viewers. What else can we discuss with Kush right now? We're just about 8 minutes away, viewers. We're trying to figure out any other stocks that we should be looking at. Okay, Kush, there's one more stock within the capital market space. You know, the space has been throwing us some action over the recent past few days, be it stocks like CDSL, BSE, MCX that are moving up. Today, it's also Edelweiss Financial Services that's up by about 7.2% within this space. Anything that looks good to you here?
Definitely, CDSL, we have an X bonus rate this week, so maybe it has given a good handsome return of 20-25% in a month. But CAMS is looking good to me. CAMS is another stock where I think investors should chip in. Target on the short term is 4,800 on CAMS, while stop loss can be 4,300. So it's a good risk to ratio for next 2 to 3 weeks. So maybe CDSL might have some correction after X bonus date, but definitely CAMS is looking good at current levels.
CAMS is looking good at the current levels, a 1.7% uptick right now on the stock at 44.85. So that is somewhere where you can definitely keep your attention to. We've not discussed the metal space thus far. It's the ferrous stocks that are actually driving the show today. A lot of these stocks are within the metals pack that are buzzing in trade. While in the non-ferrous space, you have Hindalco, Vedanta, Steel Authority, APL Apollo Tubes, JSW Steel, Jindal Steel, and Power. That's also buzzing. But in the ferrous space is where the sharp action is. Stocks like Sarda Energy, for instance. Then you have Vardhaman Specialty Steel, that's up by about 4%. Pennar Industries is up by 8.5%. Shah Alloys is up by 6.4%. Mahamaya Steel Industries, that's up by almost 14 odd percent. These are some of the rare stocks that are actually making a comeback. Let's get you to address the entire metal pack also, Kush. Are you looking at any promising charts right there?
Yes, Hindalco was my radar, but in last 1 hour we have seen some sell-off from the highs on Hindalco as well as on Tata Steel. So maybe Hindalco and Tata Steel can be on your radar for maybe tomorrow morning if we see some strong momentum. We can go long on the both the stocks, but as of now, I would not buy in on last one.
Okay, keep an eye out on these metal counters tomorrow. So far, just stay, keep them on your watch list. But tomorrow is when they could actually confirm whether this is the right time for us to look at these stocks in a longer time frame as well. Anything else, Kush, that I missed asking you that you'd like to highlight? Any key stock that's come on your radar?
Yeah, many small cap stocks are coming on my radar. I mean, it's a
Sure.
risky bets, but something like R Power, if you get on a, today it's on a upper circuit. But I have read many reports that Anil Ambani is back and R Power has turned around completely. So if you want to, looking to bet your money in a riskier stock, keep a stock R Power on your watch list. Any dip can be a good buy for next 2 to 3 months. I believe if there is seriously a turnaround, this stock could touch 70 mark in short term.
Okay, got it. Well, Kush, you had mentioned CAMS. There's another related stock, and that's KFin Technologies. That's also sharply higher. I think about 4.5% up in trade today. Would you also look at that one to tell us if there is a momentum trade here?
Definitely, momentum trade is there on K FinTech, but I believe there is a X date of dividend on 23rd, which is Friday. So maybe this move could be just because for a dividend payout. So definitely, I won't buy it today. Maybe next week, maybe we can, after X dividend, we will buy it. CAMS is the only stock which is looking good right now.
Okay, the Nifty is further climbing higher as we inch closer to the last 5 minutes of trade today. 81 points higher in trade at 24,780 as far as the Nifty is concerned. Kush, let's get you to talk about, what does this indicate for tomorrow? What are the strategies that you would advise investors for tomorrow now on both the Nifty and the Nifty Bank?
Definitely, Nifty Bank, especially Nifty Bank has recovered quite a bit from the lows. But I was just checking, high beta stocks like HDFC Bank, Reliance Industries. I mean, they have not given such a great move in last 1 hour. So I'm a bit concerned, as I said in the starting of the show. So tomorrow, if we, move above 51,000 on Bank Nifty, that would be a trigger to go long on the banking stocks and on the Nifty 24. 850 because there is a gap. So tomorrow would be a crucial day for showing the signs of reversal or we are going back down.
Okay, got that. Well, we'll thank you, Kush, on that note for being with us and sharing all your thoughts and ideas with our viewers as far as today's trade is concerned and also preparation for tomorrow. Always good to have you with us on Business Today Television. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, viewers, we will start wrapping up the markets right now. It's just about 3:26 and time to now wrap up the trade. 83, 85 points higher on the Nifty. We are definitely at the high point of the day, 24,782. It's a spring action that we actually saw today, especially on the Nifty Bank. That's reduced its losses to just about 0.1% in trade and just about 40 points down in trade. 50,760 currently on the Nifty Bank right now. That's the move that we are getting on the Nifty Bank. That supported the market recovery from the low point of the day. And also, apart from this, we've actually seen the FMCG stocks contributing, consumer durable stocks contributing. These are the two sectors that have been leading from the front. Consumer durables index up 1.5%, top moving one. FMCG up 1.4%. You have the media stocks that were busting 1.3% high in trade. You have the small caps that were up by 1.2%. So even the broader markets continue to be in fine fettle in today's trade. The pharma, metal, infra, oil and gas, and even the auto spaces performed well. Private banks definitely are now up into the green. Let's look at the Nifty Private Banking Index and you will get to know why I'm saying it's all thanks to the private banking index that we've seen this sharp recovery in the markets. Look at the last half an hour of trade on the Nifty Bank. That's really pulled up the the Nifty as well as the Nifty Bank high end trade. It's ending at the high point of the day, 80 points higher for the Nifty right now, and large part of it is contributed from the Nifty Banking Index. Let's also pull up the Nifty IT Index. That's also managed to pull itself up into the green towards the fag end of this session today. Look at the kind of recovery that we have seen, where we were trading all during the day into the red, choppiness all along. At one point in time, we hit that to around 1 o'clock or so, a sharp downtick, and we were at the low point of the day. But from there, we have seen a sharp recovery, and it's absolutely flat for the Nifty IT Index right now. Let's pull up to see the top Nifty movers in trade today. Divis Laboratories 3.7% higher, Titan 2.5% higher, SBI Life up 2%, Hindalco, Grasim and Cipla. These are the top movers on the Nifty as of today. Top laggards, Tech Mahindra, down in trade 1.4%. Tata Steel, Ultratech Cement, Power Grid, HDFC Bank did not participate in the private banking space. Had that also participated, we would have been seeing even sharper moves on the Nifty right now. About a 0.6% of a drag on HDFC Bank. Within the IT pack, while the mid caps recovered, HCL Technologies has also dragged. Tech Mahindra, HCL Technologies definitely not moving, and therefore support missing from these two counters within the IT pack as well. Let's also look at the top movers within the F&O pack. So you have stocks like RBL Bank, Chambal Fertilizers, you have Crompton Greaves Consumer, Divis Laboratories, Jubilant Foods as the top performers within the F&O space. On the downside, you have stocks like Sun TV, Birlasoft, Godrej Properties, Aurobindo Pharma and Ultratech Cement as the top laggards within the F&O space today. PSU stocks that were definitely higher: HPCL, Coal India, Life Insurance Corporation. These were the kind of stocks that were buzzing in trade. But even the defense stocks that made a comeback today. Mazagon Dock Shipyard definitely makes for a mention today. Sharp moves in trade today were seen on Mazagon Dock. That also pulled up some of the other sectoral stocks higher in trade. That ended about 5.2% higher. You have Cochin. Then you also have stocks like GRSE also coming back into trade. So 80,881 for the Sensex and the Nifty at 24,783, and the screen is frozen with about 84 points of a gain right now. We'll wrap it up at that, but do stay tuned on to Business Today as we continue to get you coverage even beyond the stock market hours.
Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and let me thank the organizers for inviting me to share my thoughts at the BT India 100 Summit. I'm sure many of you would have seen some of the social media posts on my recent book, India at 100. So I'm going to share briefly some of the thoughts in the book, and then hopefully we can take some questions. So the bottom line, I am estimating India to be a $55 trillion economy in 2047 when India turns 100. I'm sure many of you will find this goal audacious, but I'll hopefully in the next 10 minutes and then during questions I can convince you